So, you guys have made it to the fourth and final part of Kaitlyn's transplant journey. It's been a journey, believe me, and I appreciate each and every person that has come in and viewed this. It means a lot to us that you all cared enough to ask these questions. I'm outside walking. It's kind of noisy, but she's amazing. She's wonderful. I hope you guys really like this. So let's get into where I left off, where we were talking about her broken ribs, and this is the follow-up. One of the symptoms, this is from user EL2ZV8MC2T. What are the symptoms of cystic fibrosis, and how long did you know? And how did you know that you had it?
There's all different kinds of symptoms because there's all different kinds of mutations. A big one is not breathing very well, getting lung infections, getting kind of like you have the croup feeling, like you're just like, and when you're sweating and you're sweating a lot and you can feel the salt on your skin, that's another good sign. Not gaining weight is a very good sign because I wasn't gaining weight as a baby.
A bowel obstruction can be.
And like sinus issues is a good one because my sinuses stay disgusting.
Well, and another, what caused me to become aware was the number of times I had to change her diaper.
Yeah, you'll go to the bathroom a lot too.
I would feed her, and then within 30 minutes, she would have a messy diaper.
That's why you gotta take enzymes.
And I would change her messy diaper upwards of, I don't know. Well, every time she ate and beyond, it was at least every hour or so, she was having a messy diaper.
So that's a thing. Like if you eat, so CF is a production of too much mucus and thick mucus. So that is anywhere. Your lungs, your digestive system, anywhere mucus membranes, it's going to be there. So my digestive tract, it's so lined with mucus, none of the food could get absorbed. So it just, whoop, and that's why you don't gain weight.
Well, everybody has a CFTR gene. And what that does is that allows salt to flow across the cell, which therefore causes your mucus to be able to thin down. Well, if you have the defective CFTR gene, that doesn't work. And it doesn't allow the sodium to flow across.
Sodium.
And it does, and it doesn't, you got a pump. There's a pump in your...
Mine don't work very well.
And it doesn't work. So, therefore, the sodium doesn't flow across and thin down mucus.
Yeah, so that's the different genes, is whether your pump does work, but not well, or doesn't work at all.
Or her doesn't work at all.
Or stuff like it. That's really the different types of genes, and that's because some people are more affected with digestive issues. Some people are more affected with lung issues. Some people have both. And
it's something called mutations. There are over 2,000 mutations for the CF.
But most of the symptoms are the same across the board. You might just experience more of one and less of the other.
Now, her cousin that has it, for the longest time, hers was mostly digestive. And she has the same gene Kaitlyn does.
Yeah, so even if it's the same gene, it could be different.
Caring Spirit, what was the first sign of a lung problem? And I noticed in a short, there wasn't a hint of a scar, so I was wondering if they did the transplant from another angle. Not that it matters, just curious. First sign of a lung problem was I
got sick.
At 11 months old, she got the croup.
And I couldn't stop coughing. So Mom used to put my head in the freezer to help me stop coughing.
She would come in, she would have to get croup really bad. And she'd say, Mom, can we go put my face in the freezer? The doctor told me cold air. She was asthmatic as well.
Yeah.
And
add that to it.
But she no longer has asthma because they replaced all that stuff. So that was the first sign. And your scar.
My scar. I want to see if I can show.
I can edit it out. I can edit this out if it doesn't show.
So here are the chest tube scars a little bit, you can see. And then here is my actual scar. If you can kind of see it, it goes.
It's healed very well.
All the way under, and it goes to the both sides. I guess you can see it.
It's healed very, very well.
Yeah, so I have those. And they did heal very well. The only time you can see it is when I get tan, really, and it don't tan, so.
William Peck, thank you for the video. I don't know if this is too personal, maybe even inappropriate. I don't mean it that way. I'm just curious. Even with a lung transplant, if the CF is still present, what will cause the transplanted lungs to deteriorate over time? Again, thank you. That's not too personal.
I get asked that a lot. So, my body, my genes still have CF. My lungs are somebody else's DNA genes. They will never have CF, but they can get affected in the ways of rejection. Rejection can attack them and they'll get weaker. My sinuses, if I have too much drainage, that's why I have to keep my sinuses clear. They can get into my lungs and set up lung infections, which now that I have proper working lungs, it should be able to get it out better now.
But she doesn't have an immune system.
Yeah, so if it stays in there too long and any kind of bug gets in there, lung infection. I haven't had really any.
Well, I don't want to say she doesn't have an immune system. She does somewhat. Weak. It's just very, very small.
So, really, the biggest part would be the rejection. Because my body has CF. My lungs do not. It's very trippy to think about.
But the rest of her body, her pancreas, her liver, her digestive system, her sinuses.
All things affecting her CF.
It can even affect your heart.
Yeah.
Okay. Brainy red-headed angel. What causes CF and what makes CF worse?
What causes CF is kind of what we just explained. You have to both be carriers, and then your kid will get the mutation. If it does, it will get the mutation, and then your sodium pump is either not going to work well or not going to work, or sometimes you don't even have one. I think that's one of the mutations, is you don't even have one.
And another thing is about cystic fibrosis is it's very, very, very rare for males to produce children.
Yeah, it's also hard for women to have.
Yeah, it's very hard for the females to have kids.
I also think that's kind of a mucous membrane as well. So with that sodium not being able to be where it is, it just stays in your body, so your body will sweat it out.
It's really thick.
Yeah, it's bad. And that's what really causes all the infections. You're not gaining weight. It causes like liver issues, pancreatitis issues, all that, just because the mucus is just so thick and you're just so full of salt.
And non-compliance.
Yeah.
Not taking care of yourself.
Which sometimes, because of your gene, because of who you are, you can do everything you're supposed to do. And it just keeps getting worse. That's kind of what it did for me. I could do everything I was supposed to do, and it helped, but it wasn't
It kept her here.
Yeah.
User Y07H17Y04H. Do you think you would have gotten into the medical field if you hadn't got sick at a young age?
Yeah. It's really fascinating to me how body works. Even in matters outside of like CF and things that I've gone through, all the different illnesses out there and all the different things you can do in surgery and stuff, like, it blows my mind. So I'm pretty sure I would have done something close to what I'm doing now. Probably would have been a CRNA, if not, because that really interests me, how you can put the body to sleep and paralyze it. Like, that stuff's just cool to me, I guess.
Well, and the way I look at it, she's a person that you would want on your medical team for the reason she's been both sides. She's been the patient and she's now the caregiver.
Yeah, sometimes they'll say things like, I would never even think of that. And I'm like, well, you've probably not been in the hospital for weeks. You don't understand how frustrating just this one little thing could be. But yeah, I guess I'm just very interested on how the body works. Because if something happens to me, I have to know everything about it. Like, why is this happening? Like, what will happen if this happens? What, blah, 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 blah. I have to know everything about it.
Debbie Taylor, 4117. Does your diet have to change after the transplant?
Yep. You can be very strict with it, like me. So there was rules. Anytime you eat like hamburger meat, steaks, they are supposed to be well done, so there's no bacteria. You're not really supposed to drink a lot because it messes with the medication you take.
Alcohol.
Yeah. So, but every now and then, a special occasion, I'll have a drink. No grapefruit, no blood orange, because it also interacts with the medication, which actually it does for a lot of medications. If you're on any, you better make sure you check that out. My mom can't even have grapefruit because of her blood pressure medicine.
Buffets.
I can't have buffets because if you think about it, how gross buffets are, people just come and cough all over the food. Salad is a thing. Like if I go somewhere, it's kind of iffy on the salad. It has to be very well washed. Like any of my fruits, vegetables have to be super washed. They prefer it all cooked, so I can't have deli meats either that are cold. Everything has to be heated up, so there's no germs. Sushi, since it's raw, but
She can't have it from a gas station.
But also when my coordinator was telling me this, she said, I'm telling you all this and I want you to be smart about it. She said, like I said, you did not get this transplant to not enjoy your life. So if you enjoy a medium rare steak, maybe get it medium instead of medium rare. And don't do it all the time. And don't just anywhere. Same with like sushi. If I go get sushi, it's going to be to a well reputable place with fresh seafood, and I know it's good. I'm not going to go to the gas station and get sushi.
She can't have food that's been left out a while.
Yeah, so if I'm going to keep the leftovers, I have to put it away almost as soon as it cools down enough to put in the fridge.
So she goes to a get together. If food has set out for a while, she's supposed to be the first one to go through a line.
Yeah, that's what. So like if I go to a birthday party, they said they want me to be the first one to go through so nobody else has touched the food. That's the same concept as like buffets.
Which I don't know why that would matter because people prepare the food.
I know. So sometimes I do. Like some of my family, like a lot of my family members, they're like, make sure Kaitlyn goes first, you know, because whatever. But sometimes I go places like they don't know as much, and I don't make a big deal of, I have to go first.
But then again, she's got an aunt who's an RN. Mm-hmm. She's got a uncle who is a PTA, physical therapist. Is that what it is? Mm-hmm. And she's got a Emily, who's her cousin. She's a LPN. Her aunt Tamara is a pharmacist. Mm-hmm. So we've got a lot of, and I'm not medically, I don't have a degree, but
she's been through it. She knows a little bit about it. There's a couple other food things that have to just kind of, like, it's just kind of more like, I wouldn't say common sense, but if you think about it, if it's like dirty or might have germs,
you're not supposed to eat after anyone.
Yeah.
Like say somebody's, oh, try this. She's not supposed to do that.
Like a lot of times, you know, I'm with my friends, they're like, oh, do you want to try this? I'm like, no,
not really.
Sorry. But yeah, just kind of stuff like that. And I am trying to still stay on to this high fat protein kind of diet so I can keep gaining my weight because I want to be a few more pounds than I am. So,
but now it's easier for you to gain that weight than it was before she had her transplant.
With the CF diet, it's a really high calorie, high protein, high fat diets. And I kind of kept that, but not as much. Just
another effect that they can have is they can get it's called CFRD, which is cystic fibrosis related diabetes. It's the same as if you had type 1 and type 2 combined.
Yeah.
And, you know, it's as juvenile, but it also works as if you develop it later.
Yeah, because you're on a high calorie, high fat diet, and that. But you're usually destined for it anyway. I still have not had it though. Even after transplant?
You had a few shots, but it was right after transplant.
But I was also on a lot of prednisone.
She was on 40 milligrams of prednisone, and she looked like a basketball. She was like...
Yeah, but I don't have any kind of diabetes. I do have hypoglycemia, so my sugar will drop, and it will drop hard and fast. So I do keep a lot of snacks on me.
Fun fact, fun story. When they put her on prednisone after her transplant, she was on 40 milligrams. And then they taper you down as you go through.
I'm on 5 now.
She ballooned up. She weighed 140 pounds. I mean, she was...
149.
But she had to get... What size pants was it? Like a...
10.
10?
And I've always been a 00. It was weird.
So she goes to the doctor, her pulmonologist in Duke, and he said, Kaitlyn, I never thought I'd have to tell you this, but you might have to lose some weight.
Because I kept eating like I did before transplant, where I was supposed to eat high calories and high fat. And then prednisone.
We never thought we'd ever hear that she needed to lose weight.
Never thought I'd hear that.
I have a picture of her. Can I put it in?
I don't care.
We went out to eat after her transplant, and I was taking a picture back this way, and her head was popped around, and I showed her. I said, "Look, Kaitlyn." She said, "Who is that?"
I didn't even know myself.
It was funny. Well, I hope this has answered a lot of questions. I may have to break this up into 3 parts. We're at 1 hour and 34 minutes, so I may have to make this.
A lot of questions were asked. I love that.
And I may have to make this a 3-part series. So I will jump in and say, okay, this is going to be the continuation and this and so. But
this was fun. I like talking about it. Like, I don't just talk about it all the time. Like, a lot of people don't even know I've had a transplant because I don't talk about it. But when somebody asks me questions, I'm like, oh, yeah.
Well, and to be honest, before her transplant, she wouldn't talk about cystic fibrosis. She wouldn't, no, don't talk about it. I don't want to talk about it. Don't want to talk about it. Now, people ask her questions.
Yeah.
And
I like informing people about it.
And to be honest, before her transplant, she was sometimes treated like a pariah.
I don't know what that means.
People would avoid her.
Yeah. I'd be coughing so much in public. I mean, I probably would have done the same thing.
Yeah.
But, I mean, I would cough until I was blue in the face. Like, I couldn't breathe all the time. It wasn't just sometimes. It was all the time. And people would always think I was, deathly sick.
Oh, has she got a cold? Well, if you said, no, she's got cystic fibrosis. Well, oh, what is that? Well, you had to stand there for 30 minutes and describe cystic fibrosis. So a lot of times she'd just be like, yeah.
Yeah, I'm sick. Also, I used to go Black Friday shopping with Brooke and everybody, and they would use that to my advantage. They would be like, you go up there and you'll start having a coughing attack and everybody will leave.
But I've enjoyed this.
Me too.
And I'm going to have her in more videos. I mean, we're going to do some crafts. We may go out and eat. She'll message me and say, hey, Mom, you want to go do this or do that? Oh, I'm going to say this before I go. For the longest time with us, I was her mother. She's my daughter. I loved her. Don't get me wrong. But she was a patient and I was a caregiver. And that was the relationship that we had. We had to concentrate on getting her well. That we didn't get to go out and do a lot of mother-daughter things. So, there was a lot of conflict. Kaitlyn, you got to do this. Well, this was when she was younger. Oh, I don't want to. I had to be a disciplinarian. And then she had to do this, and she was sick. Well, when she got her transplant, we got to get a mother-daughter relationship, and it is great. Yep. She's my best friend.
We go shopping, eating.
We talk. She comes and hangs out.
Mm-hmm.
So
nice.
that's been a good thing that's happened. We've gotten real close.
That was one thing unexpected, I guess.
Yeah, because we actually got to concentrate. I don't say we. I mean, this is more about her, but it's like you got to sit back and kind of enjoy, relax.
I really enjoy life now. It's nice.
And I love watching her. I love watching her thrive. I love watching her succeed. I love watching. No, don't get me wrong. I do anybody, but watching what she struggled through, she's my hero. She'll always be my hero. So, we have a cat here. I would pick him up and show you to you, but he don't like to be held.
He'll scream.
He's an old senior citizen. But I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Like I said, I may break it up into 3 parts, 3 different videos. So don't forget, if you have any more questions, ask them.
Yep.
And I'll share her journey with you guys because it's an awesome one. Don't forget to like, to subscribe, to hit that notification button, and to share this video. I'd love for her story to get out to other people.
Yeah, I just hope it helps somebody.
Yeah.
Honestly. Even if it means just you're going through this and you just want to know somebody else that's been through it.
The biggest thing I can say is if you think something's going on with your kid, check it out. Yep. You know your child. This is what her doctor told me when she was diagnosed. He said, I know CF, but you know your child.
Goodness.
So, with that being said, come back and see us. Bye.
Bye.
It was a journey. It was a ride. It was amazing. It was scary. It was thrilling. It was all kinds of emotional things that you can think of that she and I, all of us went through. I appreciate each and every person who tuned in. Don't forget to like, to subscribe, to hit that notification button, and to share this video so more people can see her story. And maybe someone is going through this, they will get encouragement to pursue what they need to. So, until next time, bye.